Shut up.
I just wanted to say hi to them.
Shut up. Face the wall. Turn around. Turn around. Good movement, sir. Give me your hand. Give me your hand.
Yeah. And you weren't really sparring. You were fighting. We were fighting all the time. And just guys getting dropped all the time. And that was just the kind of gym that I was in.
But this wasn't a real fight. He was pulling punches. He wasn't giving it his full effort.
Joe Rogan reacts to the rumored arrest of Jake Paul over allegedly scripting boxing fights. Rogan stresses that no career milestone is worth putting one's life at risk. He warns that the dangers of boxing are real and should never be treated lightly. According to reports, Rogan believes Paul must reconsider his decisions before stepping into the ring again, as chasing fame or money through risky fights is not worth the potential consequences.
Jake Paul, you have probably seen some of the controversy he's been tangled up in recent months.
Joe Rogan emphasized that boxing is extremely dangerous and continuing to fight recklessly could have severe consequences. He also warned that engaging in illegal or scripted activities could lead to legal action against the fighter.
Because then you can't think, you can't do things, you don't know what the fuck you're doing in life. It's like literally everything is the quality of your ability to think. And I knew that.
Nikisa Badarian has clarified that neither Jake Paul nor his team engaged in any wrongdoing or attempted to rig the fight. He addressed the widespread rumors, claiming the bout with Anthony Joshua was scripted, calling them completely false. According to Nikisa, people online made astonishing claims, including a post suggesting there was an agreement for Joshua not to knock out Paul. He explained that Joshua fought genuinely and decisively, disregarding any alleged arrangement. Nikisa emphasized that Jake trained, competed, and took real risks in the ring. He also noted that legal action is being taken against individuals spreading these false narratives. For Nikisa, this clarification is crucial to protect the reputations of both Jake and his team, making it clear to fans and critics alike that the fight was legitimate and unscripted, and any notion of a fixed outcome is entirely baseless.
I've seen the script, rigged, this, that, and the other. Do you think now, at the very least, that talk goes away? Broke his jaw, went in there against Anthony Joshua. At the very least, do you think that you guys can move on from that? Like, that won't follow you?
No, I don't. I actually, our lawyers are actively going after a number of people. One who claims to be a lawyer himself online. I don't remember the name or the handle, but it was something that had like 200,000 likes. And basically this post said there was an agreement for AJ not to knock out Jake, but AJ disregarded the agreement and decided to not get his payday, but knock out Jake Paul. So it's pretty astonishing what people say. Your dear friend Lou DiBella, saw him put up a bunch of ridiculous things and even said, Nikisa, go ahead and sue me. But this wasn't a real fight. He was pulling punches. He wasn't giving it his full effort.
And so for the people, again, just to clear this up, because I asked Eddie this question, I'll ask you the exact same question. Once and for all, was there any sort of arrangement as far as it should go this many rounds? Because that's the one that I've heard. Oh, Anthony agreed to 3 rounds, 4 rounds. Can you tell us in black and white if there were any talks of any kind between the network, the promotion, the fighter?
There has never once in Jake Paul's career been any talk of that sort, of anything to do with the fight being anything but a real fight that has exactly the same situation as any professional fight. And that's exactly the same thing here for the Anthony Joshua fight. It's just beyond mind-blowing that people would think that. Anthony Joshua was on record saying that if he didn't finish him in the first round, that would be disappointing, that it would be a failure. The narrative changed as we got closer to fight night and obviously post-fight, and I understand why, but they were pretty adamant it would take max 2 rounds to knock out Jake Paul.
It would take max 2 rounds to knock out Jake Paul. Joe Rogan has already warned Jake Paul not to do anything reckless like this again. He strongly cautioned him to reconsider taking high-risk boxing matches, emphasizing that no career milestone is worth risking one's life. Rogan stressed that the dangers of the ring are very real, and pursuing staged or dangerous fights for fame or money could have serious consequences. Safety and responsibility must come first for any fighter, because here's the thing.
Look at all them celebrities, like dude from the Mighty Ducks, the little boy actor that got strung out on drugs. and all his fronts and all his teeth were missing from being on meth or whatever, you know what I mean, whatever drug of choice he was on. There's no coming back from that. The people who like dissipate their teeth through drug usage, you don't get like a second set. So if I'm not mistaken, the dude from Mighty Ducks, somebody like he's been clean and they gave him a makeover and he has like pretty much fake teeth. So yeah, the teeth are gonna be cooked. Now, I agree with the other part that Rogan was saying, but let's keep going.
Yeah, I think he went into that fight knowing that was probably going to happen, and ultimately, the big win for him would be that he was even willing to do it, and that he could do well for a little bit.
Yeah, and I've already expressed my thoughts on this. I'm not giving no props for a person who says I am a real deal boxer because I went and get smashed and got my jaw broken, but I lasted longer than Ngannou. But I was crazy enough to try, because to be honest, we're way past the honeymoon stage with a person like Jake Paul. You've been in this for long enough to go through fight camps, dedicate your time, effort, energy, money, spar with people. You spar with some quality names because you have resources and money or whatever. So we're well past that, to the point where you just get credit for stepping in. You maybe got credit your first fight or whatever, first couple of fights, for coming from your background and, you know, stepping in and fighting, but we're well past that. You have a box rec. You were being ranked by sanctioning bodies in boxing. So yeah.
Eddie Hearn provided a thoughtful analysis of the Anthony Joshua versus Jake.
So yeah, Eddie Hearn provided a thoughtful analysis of the Anthony Joshua versus Jake Paul fight, highlighting the careful planning behind each move in the ring. He explained that the bout progressed precisely according to strategy, with Joshua's team prioritizing patience and controlled aggression over reckless punches. The plan was to systematically challenge Jake Paul, exposing weaknesses and testing his nominum before delivering decisive strikes. Hearn emphasized that this methodical style reflects true professional boxing, where success relies on discipline, timing, and tactical execution rather than sheer power. Every phase of the fight was orchestrated to maintain control while gradually asserting dominance, demonstrating how strategic thinking often outweighs raw strength. According to Hearn, this approach not only secured the victory but also showcased the art of boxing as a careful, intelligent contest where measured execution and calculated decisions define champions and separate seasoned fighters from novices.
Seasoned fighters from novices.
Break him down. He said before the fight, I'm going to break him down and then I'm going to knock him out. And that's exactly what he did. I thought it'd be all over within 3 rounds. But, you know, when I got in the ring after, because I was shouting, just, you know, anywhere, arms. I got in, he went, what are you rushing me for? And I was like, oh, sorry. So, but like, obviously he knows what he's doing, and actually now quite pleased that we got the rounds, to be honest.
Yeah, I saw you said that. Really random, I was on Twitter and I saw Jake Paul's mom said she wants to get in the ring and punch you. She said she doesn't like the smug look on your face. She is promoting her book, so I'm not sure if she wants, you know. But did you see that? What did you think of that?
No, I was very sad, because I couldn't have been nicer and more respectful of Jake and what he's done. And I think Logan's amazing. I think he's an incredible athlete. And I shook Jake Paul's dad's hand in the ring, you know. And if I would have seen Mum, I would have said, all right. But I think over the years, we've obviously had our beef, and she probably don't like me anyway. And I am probably a little bit smug. I wasn't smug after the fight, because I would have been more smug if it was all over in a round. So, no, I'll give Jake respect. And, yeah. Sorry, Jake's mum doesn't like me, but if she can send me a free book, that'd be fantastic.
Adam Catterall provided a forthright and candid assessment of the Anthony Joshua versus Jake Paul fight.
Adam Catterall provided a forthright and candid assessment of the Anthony Joshua versus Jake Paul fight, emphasizing the significant imbalance modern boxing faces when popularity influences matchups. He argued that Jake Paul's rapid rise in the sport owes far more to his social media presence and celebrity status than to genuine technical skill or experience inside the ring. According to Catterall, even while deliberately restraining his full strength, Anthony Joshua displayed remarkable control, timing, and precision, landing punches that caused real damage and highlighted the gulf in class between the fighters. This stark contrast sparked speculation that certain aspects of the fight may have been influenced by external pressures rather than purely sporting considerations. Rumors circulated that Jake Paul reportedly attempted to manage or manipulate the pacing of the match to minimize risk and maintain appearances, reflecting broader concerns about celebrity boxing prioritizing spectacle over authenticity. Catterall's observations underscore how modern hype-driven fights can distort competitive integrity, placing the focus on entertainment and marketability rather than skill, strategy, and the traditional values that define professional boxing.
Own credibility, I've got to knock you out, but I've got to try and knock you out where I'm not hurting you as much as what I could if I unleashed. Yeah. And with the punch you said that he landed, it's not his best punch, it's his most powerful punch, right? Yep. And he's shattered his jaw in 2 places, right? So Anthony Joshua gets his 70 million, whatever it is. But I think he's sitting there thinking, thank God for that. Thank God. On a human level, I've come out, all right, I've sort of, not reputation, but I haven't hurt him as bad as what I could have.
There should be an awful amount of people breathing a massive sigh of relief. Anybody that put that fight together, Athletic Commissions, like you said.
It wasn't a fight.
No, it wasn't at all. Like you said, it was a prize fight. It was an event. If Anthony damages him, he's got to live with that for the rest of his life.
Absolutely.
That's a lot of stress to deal with, you know what I mean? So I'm sure he's bleeding the side of relief. The team that have put him in there, that have negotiated that for him, but the authorities that put that on and commissioned it as a proper boxing match, I've no doubt.
Does that go on his...
Yeah, it's a professional boxing match.
Do you know what? If I was Anthony Joshua, I would be saying, I don't want that on my record. But for the credibility of them putting the fight on, they would have said to him, no. We've got to say this, it's been commissioned, it's going to be a proper fight. And I found it, I love my boxing, but I just find the whole thing really, really unedifying. You said about get followers, you mentioned Tommy Fury. Tommy Fury is nowhere near his level of getting like a British title fight or whatever. Nowhere near. So it's basically he's like...
Beat Jake Paul.
Right, oh yeah, sorry, yeah, beat Jake Paul. But so
but what I'm saying is that's 100. I stand by that, and I think Tommy would admit that. You know what I mean? To become a British champion is a very prestigious thing to do.
Yeah, Sam Jones offered a candid and unfiltered reaction to the Anthony Joshua versus Jake Paul fight, emphasizing that the bout was challenging to watch, not because of brutal exchanges, but due to glaring technical deficiencies on display. He pointed out that Jake Paul struggled with fundamental aspects of boxing, including basic defensive techniques, proper footwork, and timely responses to Joshua's combinations. These repeated lapses created a sense of imbalance throughout the fight, highlighting the clear gap in experience and skill. Observers noted that some sequences appeared almost choreographed, as if the action had been subtly guided to prevent either fighter from facing undue risk. While Jake Paul undoubtedly put in significant training, Jones suggested that the mismatch in talent and ring intelligence, along with alleged hints of scripted pacing, contributed to a viewing experience that felt uneasy for those expecting genuine competitive tension. The fight underscored the risks of mixing celebrity appeal with professional-level boxing, revealing how spectacle can sometimes overshadow skill and authenticity, leaving fans questioning the legitimacy of contests where performance and entertainment intersect.
Anthony Joshua knocking out and breaking Jake Paul's jaw. Just talk to me right now about the fight itself and then we'll break it down.
Bit of a crap fight, if we're all honest. It was like watching Jaws 2 when all the kids went out on their boats and they were in the middle of the sea and the shark was just surrounding the boat, just like that's what it was like. It was just like a shark circling its prey and just like it was like nibbling and eventually got him. But Jake Paul showed big plums in there, no matter what anybody says about him, because I've seen people say, yeah, he went in there to survive. Yeah, okay, he went in there to survive. He's a guy that's been boxing a couple of years against a unified champion of the world who can really punch. It wasn't the best. It wasn't the best fight. It just wasn't the best thing to watch, was it? Like it was just, it weren't great. I just want to see now Tyson Fury against Anthony Joshua. I think at the stages of their careers they're at, AJ and Tyson Fury. We don't need to see interim fights, Andrew. We don't need to see interim fights because they're just potential banana skins. We want to see two of the best heavyweights of this era going at it, and we need to see it next.
Following the fight, Luke Thomas emerged as a critical voice in the aftermath, challenging the positive attention Jake Paul received. He emphasized that stepping into the ring with a world-class fighter like Anthony Joshua should not be celebrated without scrutiny. Thomas argued that the spectacles surrounding the match overshadowed the genuine dangers involved. Observers speculated that Paul's pre-fight confidence, combined with certain in-ring behaviors, aligned with rumors that he tried to script portions of the fight. Thomas warned that celebrating such contests sets a dangerous precedent, blurring the line between entertainment and real competition.
Diving kind of feeds into the story of him being perhaps a little bit better than we sometimes think, although I don't really co-sign on that. Let me make the point. The first point is, I think people are overreacting a little bit. People were suggesting when I got on social media that this was like the biggest farce they'd ever seen in their life, and that this was, how could he fight like this, and this was a disaster, and Joshua should have got him out there earlier. There is probably some evidence to suggest that I don't think Joshua was carrying him in the sense of, hey, they coordinated this ahead of time. But was Joshua really stepping on the gas? No, I don't think he was really stepping on the gas. There were times I think he clearly pulled his punches, partly because Jake was squirmy and rotating on the outside. Also in part because I think, as I indicated on Friday, he's watching this guy with pretty bad footwork. He was literally tripping over himself, and he realized he just can't keep this up. So, okay, so there was that. But people were acting like, like how could this be? How could this have happened? Guys, on Friday's MK, and then before that, earlier in the week on Submission Radio, they asked me on Submission Radio, how do you think he's gonna fight? And I'm like, he's gonna run. And they're like, you don't think he's gonna clinch? I'm like, okay, he'll clinch at times, but then the rest of the time, he's going to run. What other way was this going to go? What other way?
Chael Sonnen voiced strong criticism regarding the match, stressing that fights like this are far too risky to occur under normal circumstances. He described the contest as feeling less like a true boxing competition and more like a struggle for survival, where both physical and reputational stakes were dangerously high. Sonnen highlighted that inexperienced fighters entering the ring with elite professionals put themselves in life-threatening situations. The rumored scripting by Jake Paul, coupled with these high-risk matchups, magnifies the issue. According to Sonnen, the culture of blending celebrity with sport risks undermining the integrity of boxing while endangering participants unnecessarily. Analysts noted that Jake Paul's approach in the fight appeared unusually cautious at times, raising questions about his intentions. While some interpreted this as a prudent strategy, others speculated that certain moments seemed choreographed to allow Joshua to dominate without extreme risk. This reportedly aligns with rumors that Paul attempted to influence the pacing and sequences to protect himself and maximize entertainment value.
That was not a boxing match. It just wasn't. Jake Paul had a very healthy fear for his life while he was in there, and he was moving as such. He was staying away from him. He was running away. He was trying to get distance. Then he was trying to step in to win this athletic competition, and then he's trying to get out of the way so that he doesn't get hurt again. He was fighting. Then it turns to where he can't stay away anymore. So now he's got to go the other way. He's got to go forward. So now he's clinched him. Now he's dropping down to his knees. He's going below the waist. He's getting to double leg positions. He was fighting. These guys were fighting. Jake was fighting for his survival, and you could so see it. You could see this animal who's been caged and is just trying to make it through, not even kill its prey, just make it through. And it was incredible. It was really incredible. So on the back end, some of the comments that I made or that I had heard were so confusing to me. It was a very good competition. I will tell you, it breaks my heart too that Anthony Joshua can't get him out of there in one round. Dave Portnoy had made a comment before the fight. He said, I like Jake. I wish well for Jake. Of course I'm taking Joshua. And then Portnoy made his point. And he said, because I believe in boxing. This isn't if I'm cheering for Jake or if I think that Joshua's more experienced or better. I believe in I believe boxing's real. If boxing is an actual sport, if it is an actual sweet science, then of course a guy that's done it 11 times cannot compete with the Olympic champion. Of course.
That's it for today.